¿Qué onda banda? Estamos nueva con el copyright.
They've been prowling around for nearly 2 days now. These things just won't quit.
Vamos a seguir con la misión que nos habíamos quedado, donde Barca tenía un super plan para derrotar al cazador lunar. Entonces vamos a seguir con esa misión, con la misión Arconte. ¿Qué dice? Estos tipos ya llevan 2 días merodeando por aquí, es que nunca se cansan.
Oh, they might not have seen us yet, but them constantly sweeping the area, our way out is completely blocked.
Tenemos que pasar de largo sin que nos vean.
Oh, that's never gonna work. One little slip up and it's game over.
¿Crees que es posible que no puedan vernos ni una sola vez?
If they spot us, they'll run straight back to Rear, and once he knows we're here, it won't be long before he's breathing down our necks again.
Si lo hacen avisarán de inmediato a Rayleigh, y una vez que él lo sepa no tardará nada en aparecer. No nos queda más remedio que intentarlo.
Oh, guess you're right. All right, time to zip it.
Escóndete de la patrulla de la cacería salvaje. A ver, ¿para dónde me escondo?
Quick, hide! We almost got spotted.
Ah, esos zombies son la patrulla.
Phew, that was a close call. Watch out! He's coming this way. Keep going. We're nearly there. This is the final hurdle. Oh, there's no end to these things.
No podemos ir así.
Fire. Fire? Wait, what's that smell? Oh no, there's a fire!
La cacería salvaje. Ah, Arlechino.
Sandrone was right. You look weak, Colombina. The old you would never have let such lowly creatures bar your way. Word has it that you did something for the Tsaritsa, and that's why you've lost most of your power.
Hola, hola, Serafín, ¿cómo estás? Llegaste en la mera hora de la fiesta. Esto se va a poner bueno. Esto se va a descontrolar. Bueno, no sé, no he visto esta misión. Yo pienso que esto se va a descontrolar, ¿no crees? Con Arlechino.
Freedom comes at a heavy price, doesn't it?
El precio de la libertad es muy alto, ¿verdad?
It's Arlecchino! You came!
Hello again, Colombina. And greetings, guests of the House of the Hearth.
Y yo la distingo su huésped de la casa de la hoguera.
It's been a while, Arlecchino.
Oh, se quedó hasta ahí. Ya, yo quería ver más acción.
Stupid right here of stupid Solnari. Ugh, whatever. I've got all the data I need. Next time we meet, you're finished.
Ese maldito cazador de la luna. Que sepa que he recuperado todos tus datos. Ya verá la próxima vez que nos veamos.
He sure doesn't pull his punches.
Excuse me, do you need a hand?
You can do me a favor by staying out of my way. Can't you see I'm busy?
¿Quién es ese?
Wait a minute. I recognize that voice.
Hello, Miss Sandrone. Father sent us over to help.
¿Qué? Sus lacayos de Arlechino es Lily y Freyman, no puedo creerlo.
How considerate of her.
¿Qué consideró por su parte?
Hey, Fremine, get over here and help me fix this. Lenny, you do your thing. Just keep your sister away from my machines.
Freyman, te llamas, ¿verdad? Ven, ayúdame con una reparación. Linney, tú haz lo que veas y vigila a tu hermana, que no quiero que me rompa nada.
Nearly every machine that cat girl touches ends up going haywire. Go put her on cleaning duty or something.
Then let's start downstairs. Fremine, we'll leave this place to you. You've got it.
Wait a second. Pretty sure there's still some tea in the cupboard. If you want some, you'll have to make it yourselves.
Ah, sí, el té. Muy importante. Entonces Arlechino es el refuerzo. Vuelve a la base secreta.
Rev the engines! Up to the freezer!
Locked on.
A little amuse-bouche! Rise with the sun! Pyroclastic surge! Light it up!
¿Qué le pasa? Se me está medio lagueando esto. Farca, me alegro que hayan regresado a salvo.
Huh? Feels like there's quite a few people missing. Where's Flint's and the others? And what about Niffer?
I returned ahead of them. Flint is helping Ino and Anefa to set up the decoys and buy us some time. As for Miss Neffer...
Y en cuanto a la señorita Nefer,
Boss is still wrapping things up on her end. She sent us back to fill you all in on the top secret intel we've been gathering.
I see. Then let's get right into it. But first, who do we have here? You brought someone else in to help?
pero antes de eso, ¿a quién tenemos aquí? ¿Han traído a alguien más para que nos ayude?
Greetings. I was invited here to help as a longtime Tea Party companion of Colombina's. You may call me Arlechino.
Saludos, Colombina y yo somos compañeras de hora del té desde hace tiempo. Ella me invitó para que vinieran a ayudar. Pueden llamarme Arlechino.
Surely it can't be.
Those eyes. Oh, where have I seen them before? Wait, of course. In those memories we just saw.
The only Arlechino I know is the fourth of the Fatui Harbingers. So either you share a pretty uncommon name, or you're more than just a Tea Party buddy.
You are well informed, Grandmaster. A man from Mondstadt living all the way out here in Nodcry, and yet the people and affairs of Snezhnaya seem to hold a special place in your heart.
Oh, the feeling's mutual. Sounds like you know all about who I am, too.
A Fatui Harbinger.
The atmosphere in here just got really tense. Guess we can't just start trusting Fatui Harbingers, even at a time like this.
I must admit, though, I'm a little curious. Seeing as the moon goddess no longer belongs to the Fatui, what makes you so willing to put your neck on the line here?
Nor does Nodcry belong to Mondstadt, Mr. Varka. Yet still, you're fighting for it all the same. Things don't always have to have a tangible payoff. Sometimes, stopping things from spiraling out of control is a higher priority than chasing the spoils of victory. Of course, I can't say there's nothing in it for me at all. But that's between Colombina and myself.
Ahora bien, tampoco sería realista decir que yo no vaya a ganar nada con esto, pero eso es asunto de Colombina y mío. Arlequino nos ayudó a poner fin a la crisis de Fontaine. Y me
Forgive me. I don't
spoilearon.
mean to doubt you. It's just that the Fatui really have been the source of many of our troubles. We have our own way of doing things here in Nodcry. But ever since they arrived, the Fatui have treated us with nothing but hostility.
I know there's been a lot of bad blood between us in the past. I've done my utmost to avoid friction whenever I could. But sometimes fundamental conflicts of interest simply can't be settled amicably. That's why I'm here solely in a personal capacity. This has nothing to do with the Fatui. As a gesture of good faith, I'll be frank. I can help Colombina track down the iridescent moon's marrow, which will help her restore more of her power.
Oh. Entonces Arlequino le va a ayudar a recuperar sus poderes a Colombina.
Anyway, what else is on the agenda? Let's begin.
She says she'll be frank, then completely skips over the details. Looks like she doesn't want to give away too many secrets after all. But she clearly wants to change the subject. It'd be awkward if I tried to bring it up again now. I guess we'll just have to go along with it. She's the fourth of the Fatui Harbingers after all. One look and you can tell she's not someone you'd want to mess with.
Well, Since Miss Arlechino sounds confident in her ability to handle that, we'll proceed to the next topic. Yehoda, time to share that top-secret intel.
All right, listen up, everyone. First, we now know that Rerir was originally a Conrian secret agent whose primary mission was to hunt down and assassinate the so-called Dregs of the Crimson Moon.
The Dregs of the Crimson Moon?
In the memories, there was a lot of talk about the Crimson Moon and Eclipse, and a whole bunch of other stuff from the time of Conria.
To my knowledge, those were the names of two different Conrian dynasties. Long, long ago, it is said that the people of Conria worshipped the Crimson Moon, drawing a mysterious power from its reflection. But one day, a coup saw the Crimson Moon eclipsed, hence the name of the new dynasty that replaced it, and how it became the new emblem of Conria.
Still, long after the Crimson Moon dynasty had fallen, the last ruler of the Eclipse dynasty, the Vinster King, still coveted the secrets it left behind. So, he sent the Rehir of Solnari to secretly hunt down the Crimson Moon's few remaining followers. In those days, Rerir showed no signs of madness. In fact, he was as normal as any other person. Oh, and he had a fiancé, or at least a would-be fiancé, called Tholindis. What's the matter?
¿Qué ocurrió? Protoss Rey pronunció ese nombre justo después de recuperar su forma.
Interesting. Anything else? What about this would-be fiancé of...
Well, she was a researcher at the Universitas Magistrorum, but it felt like she was hiding some kind of secret.
Oh, and one more thing. For some reason, Rerir's fragment also contains some of Tholindis' memories, though only a very small portion.
¿Quién es Tholindis?
Well, no shortage of potential leads, I'll give you that. In any case, it sounds like we can conclude that while Tholindis was still around, Rerir appeared to be lucid and quite normal.
Son cuatro pistas que podemos seguir. En fin, la conclusión es que cuando aún tenía Tholindis, Rey... Ah, sí, ya me acuerdo quién es. Parecía estar lucido y se comportaba de manera normal.
Tholindis, it seems, must have been the one thing in this world that he couldn't let go of. Tell me, though, were these pure-blood Conrians we're talking about here?
Why do you need to know that? Hold on. If she was a pure-blood Conrian...
Ah, sí, cierto, la maldición de la inmortalidad.
Oh yeah, just like how it was with the captain.
If we could somehow find her, do you think there's any chance Rerir might regain some of his sanity?
It's possible, but it would take a miracle. We can't pin all our hopes on that. That merchant who Nefer knows, Dori Sangama Bay. Maybe we could hire her to look into it.
All right, then. Let's keep working in our separate teams. Traveler, Paimon, Kutar, and Miss Arlechino will go look for the iridescent moon's marrow. As for the others...
On the way over here, I noticed that the wild hunt monsters had grown even more frenzied in their search for Kutar. At this rate, the people living here will be in grave danger too. So I'm thinking of gathering together some of our followers to go wipe them out.
I'll head back to the curatorium and meet up with the boss.
Feels good knowing we've all got something to be getting on with. Given that the Wild Hunt has been a lot more active lately, the Lightkeepers have likely begun their own operations too. If that is the case, someone will need to pass the news on to Flint's. I'll hold the fort for now, then discuss our next move with Flint's, Aino, and Anefa when they get back.
Te está hablando tu papi, April. Tu papi Barca te está hablando. ¿Sí escuchaste o no? Me quedaré aquí esperando y cuando Flynn, Aino y Anefa resten hablaré con ellos de nuestro próximo paso.
All right then.
Well, the clock's ticking. If that's everything, we'll be on our way.
We'd better get moving too. We'll try to buy you as much time as we can.
Relax. Just do your thing. Now, I decided to call in some backup since things are getting so hairy. Our reinforcements should be here any minute now. Stay safe, everyone. Dismissed.
We're back. Did we get here a little early? Or a little late?
A tad late. The others have already set off. To summarize, our resident moon goddess has found us a new ally, and Boss Nefer has uncovered some promising info. Everything going smoothly on your end?
Not great. I don't know how long we can stall them for. The decoys are getting taken out way faster than we imagined. I'm gonna make some more later, but I need a timeout first. I'm so tired right now. Oh, right! Inefa, could you fill in Uncle Varka on what we just discussed with Flint's?
Sure. Uncle Varka, you previously told us about how when you went to investigate a source of the Wild Hunt in Amsvartnir, you discovered that it was just a diversion. But according to Flint's intel, several outbreaks of the Wild Hunt had already occurred in Nodcry in the period leading up to that. That was before Rerir had regained his body, when he was far from regaining his full strength. In other words, in theory at least, he still lacked the means to act in two places at once.
Flint's, with everything that's been happening, the Lightkeepers across Nodcry are rallying to fight back against the Wild Hunt. They're gonna need your help. I know, I'm sure you're capable of coming up with something far more effective than decoys. But for now, you should stay here and get some rest. Anefa and I will head back over to Amsvartnir to see if there's anything I missed.
I told you Uncle Varka would say that, didn't I? A deal is a deal. Not a word about my snack intake for the next week.
Database updated. Reliability of Aino's predictions increased.
What does that mean?
They were betting on how you'd respond after hearing their intel.
Oigan, el Barca es Anemo, ¿no?
It's the obvious choice, isn't it? That's hardly worth betting on.
Ah, sí, ya miré su visión. Es Anemo. La respuesta obvia. Apenas tiene ningún mérito para ganar esa apuesta. Ya quiero saber qué va a hacer este Barca. ¿Cuáles van a ser sus habilidades?
We already decided that Anefa should go investigate the situation over at Amsvartnir on her own. You might as well stay here and keep watch. Someone needs to hang back and oversee our strategy meetings. And besides, you still haven't fully recovered from ambushing Rerir.
So I've ended up with the easiest assignment. Well, I appreciate it, everyone. See you when you get back.
Para el poder de los 7.
Here, this will serve as a good spot to cross over.
Arlechino, hold up a second. Since you brought us all this way, would you mind telling us what you got planned? We still haven't got the slightest idea what's going on here. And if even Colombina doesn't know where the iridescent moon's marrow is, how do you?
Simple. Because I am an inheritor of the royal bloodline of the Crimson Moon. And one of the last surviving embers of the Two Worlds' flames.
Huh? Are you serious? Isn't you're a descendant of that Crimson Moon dynasty we were just talking about? The one from ancient Conria?
Your surprise is understandable. I was also taken aback when I first learned of it. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized the signs had been there all along. When I was young, I discovered I could wield a very special kind of fire. It coursed like blood through my veins and smoldered away inside my nerves. What's more, whenever I experienced strong bursts of emotion or drew too deeply on this power, it was like some kind of presence within the fire would begin to gnaw away at me, consuming me from the inside out.
Qué loco, qué loco.
Exactly. That is why my hands are like this too. At first, I saw it only as a curse, but once I became a harbinger, the jester apprised me of the truth. Together with my own investigations, over the past few years, there are several things that I have gradually come to understand. For instance, take the so-called Crimson Moon. In truth, it is nothing more than the shattered remnants of the iridescent moon, fused with the abyss to prolong its lifespan. Since this blood flame was bestowed upon me by the Crimson Moon, it is a fusion of the iridescent moon's former power and the corruption of the abyss. You all understand the nature of the abyss well enough. I draw upon its power, and in return, it
If I recall correctly, you once told me that if the corruption ever made it to your heart, you'd become a completely different person.
Yes. And that's the reason I'm always careful not to push my power too far. It's essentially a never-ending tug of war.
Oh, sounds intense.
Anyway, the rest of my story can wait. Is there anything else about the Crimson Moon or the iridescent moon that you're unclear about?
Paimon has a question. So, the Crimson Moon that the Conrians used to worship was actually the iridescent moon, right? Which was one of the three moon sisters. Does that mean that the Conrians were to the Crimson Moon as the Frost Moon Scions are to the Frost Moon?
So much of that history has been lost. We have no way of knowing exactly what they were like. But I would suspect that the Conrians weren't as devout in their moon worship as it might appear. The iridescent moon's remains simply served as their link to the abyss. Later on, perhaps someone discovered a way to make direct contact with the abyss. Or maybe there was some kind of ideological divide. Either way, a dissenting faction staged a coup and drove out the royal heirs of the Crimson Moon dynasty. Still, even with the dark sun looming high overhead, the Crimson Moon's glow never truly faded. if you want living proof. It's standing right before you.
The first time we met, I sensed something familiar in your presence. When I looked at you, I felt I could see that mysterious red moon in the corner of my eye. In your flames, I saw its broken image, surrounded by a strange black aura.
Well, I appreciate that you kept it to yourself. Much about the Crimson Moon is still a mystery, and I'd prefer not to end up as the object of an insane research project. Anyway, time is against us here, so if there's any other questions, they'll have to wait. I just want to make sure I've got one thing straight. In her letters, Sandrone mentioned that since you are unable to contain the iridescent moon's marrow yourself, you intend to leave it in my custody, correct?
That's right. For now, it's the only way I can pay you back for your help. The iridescent moon is already part of who you are, so with its marrow in your possession, you'll be even more powerful than before.
Deal. Then let's get started.
Get what started? What does this place have to do with the Crimson Moon?
When I first became a Harbinger, the Jester gave me a book called Parenheri, also known as Leobranto Inamorato. You should be able to buy a copy next time you're in Fontaine. It's a love story set in the Crimson Moon era. But setting aside the tangled romances of its characters, it also records a few interesting details. In the Crimson Moon era, or so the story
Gaga.
there was an orphanage that received children from beyond the bounds of this world, and subjected them to a peculiar induction ceremony.
Beyond the bounds of this world? For real? And what kind of induction ceremony?
The Crimson Moon sages looked beyond this world for beings with powers that surpassed the gods. But fearing they might lose control, they subjected these children to a process of refinement.
A la madre. ¿Cómo que sometían a los niños?
They made these children crawl up a fireplace and kept asking them, "Have you died? Did you see it?" Until they finally admitted to having died and seen a crimson moon. The adults embraced the children who passed the ritual, telling them, "Within the fireplace, you have traversed the flames between two worlds. Here and now, you are born anew." The book leaves much unsaid, but I suspect that this was their way of branding the children they had enrolled, leaving an indelible mark upon them so that they would forever live in the Crimson Moon's light.
That explains why I can't sense the Crimson Moon's marrow in this world. It makes sense that it would be sealed in a special space that can only be accessed temporarily through some kind of ritual.
But there's no fireplace here. Do you see a chimney anywhere? Oh, are we supposed to build it ourselves? Okay, fine. Paimon will go find some bricks.
That won't be necessary. The fireplace is purely symbolic. The key to the ritual is crossing the flames between two worlds. In other words, the flames that burn within me. Those burned away by such flames leave behind a kind of ghostly afterimage in the world. In the days of Conria, people believed they could be used to bridge the gap between the two worlds of life and death. In short, I can open a passage to that space for you. That's the easy part. The catch is I'll need to stay on this side to keep the passage open, so I won't be able to come with you. Once you're inside, you'll have to find your own way. Very well. Then I'll open it up.
Traveler, spare me a little more moonlight if you would. I may need it. Thank you. I feel like I've recovered some of my strength now. It should be enough to move us across short distances and
Mistress of the seven hues of ages past, great mother of the present, crimson-clad sovereign of the two realms, by fire severed, by fire renewed, I offer myself now and beseech your descent. One word of advice. As you're crossing over, no matter what voices you hear, do not answer.
Got it! I sense a sinister gloom inside, but also the familiar light of the moon. I feel that I am about to meet an old friend who has changed beyond all recognition.
Entrar en el espacio. Hasta que me tocó una misión.
Burn it down.
Caray, ¿dónde estoy?
Your presence, and already death, and rebirth. Wait, why are you? You have crossed over from another world, transcended fate itself. I have no right to.
The engines! Hey! Look up at the sky! A red moon! This must be the spot, right? Is that the abyss? It's practically filled the entire place! What now?
What a tragic sight. Fragments of your broken body, seized by the abyss, and hung up aloft like mummified remains.
Careful! There's something spooky about this place. Feels like something is lurking in the fog. Taimon's right behind you. Whatever you do, don't run off without her. By the way, Colombina, didn't you tell us that the iridescent moon had shattered into pieces? The moon up there looks pretty whole to Paimon. How is that possible?
Just like I thought. It was only a facade.
Burn it down! Try and stop me! Light of the blazing sun! Light it up!
Off to the freezer! Show no fear! A burst of flavor!
Burn it down! Rev the engines! Wrath from the sky!
Huh?
Entonces la médula de la luna arcoiris está en el cielo.
Huh? For real? That's way too high. There's no way we'll be able to reach it.
No. I'm not sensing anything up there. It's coming from under the mountain.
Let's see. Ah! There's some kind of weird shadow over the water. Wait, see that? Looks like a mechanism of some sort. Let's check it out.
Let's check it out.
Rise with the sun!
Looks like a device from the time of Kalia. Maybe people once came here to study the Crimson Moon's domain, and they left this behind. Oh, if we can activate it, we might find some clues. Hey, look at that! Now that the mechanism's running, the shadow in the water looks different. Do you think these mechanisms might be the key to unlocking the secret?
Celindis, we'll leave the rest of the research in your hands. We'll be heading back now.
I hope this isn't ruining date night.
Mind your own business. Just leave me some snacks on the table.
Celindis? Is that Rear's girlfriend? How come we're hearing her voice here?
Ahora una universitaria, la Tolandis.
So, do you think she was studying this strange space all along?
The abyss has made this space extremely unstable. Maybe that's why some of the things she said and did were preserved here. Like echoes. Or after images.
Whenever I see this view, it takes me back to a poem from my childhood. Waning moon, oh lifeless damsel, weeping on the mountain crest. Mourning still in wistful tone, her fragile soul now laid to rest. For me, of all people, to be here investigating the mysteries of the Crimson Moon space is a
Burn it down!
Looks like the abyss has messed up this mechanism. We need to find a way to get it working again. Let's see if there are any other devices nearby.
Rise with the sun! Light of the blazing sun! Rev the engines!
I see. So the moon marrow, or rather the power of the three moons, is the key to unlocking. If it really does exist, then maybe this madness can finally be put to an end.
Light it up! Rise with the sun!
With the Abyss inhibitors in place, I should be able to access the chamber with the moon marrow. Oh, Revier, with every step you take, you're drifting further from what you truly desire. But you're not the root of the problem. Ever since that outsider set foot in Conria, the Vinster King has sunken deeper into madness. If only I could get my hands on that outsider.
Hey look! The moon's reflection is back to normal! Olympus's voice mentioned a chamber with the moon marrow. Do you think maybe it's hidden in the moon's reflection?
It must be. For within it, I sense the fragile aura of a dying soul.
Then there's no time to lose! Let's go!
Light it up! Burn it down!
These things are so creepy! Looks like we'll have to destroy them if we want to get to the iridescent moon's marrow!
Light it up!
That must be the iridescent moon's marrow! Oh, we'll need to destroy these things before we can reach it!
A little of this thing! Rise with the sun! Wrath from the sky!
Up to the freezer!
Target acquired.
Ah,
Won't you take me to town? Won't you take me to town? Won't you take me to town?
¿por qué no puedo escalar?
Light it up!
Yo pensé que ya había llegado ya.
Pyroclastic surge!
We're so close! We finally did it!
The iridescent moon's marrow, still burning away like an undying flame, yet now contaminated by the abyss. It has taken on a new form entirely. If we can purify the abyssal power within, we should be able to obtain its untainted essence.
Me encargo. Ay.
It's so cold.
¿Qué fue eso?
Is it you?
to us?
At long last, I can see you once more. Our fates have crossed, and I am finally free. I'm sorry, I lied to you. Even knowing what was to come, I still couldn't let go of the fear in my heart as death drew near. The moment the moon shattered, my body began to split apart piece by piece. Like I was being cut into pieces by 1,000 blunt blades. My thoughts scattered as the cold crept in, but I could not bear to fade away like that. Tell me, what was it that brought you to us all that time ago? If only I had possessed your courage, then I might have been. You look so puzzled. That's how I felt too when I first saw you. But trust me when I say that everything happens for a reason. Farewell, Hypo.
What was that all about? Was that the goddess of the iridescent moon? Oh. It sounded like she was speaking to a long-lost friend. But none of us have ever met her before, right?
Perhaps. She took me for the goddess of the frost moon she once knew. For a fading soul like hers, our auras must be too similar to tell apart.
But anyway, we've got the iridescent moon's marrow now. That should help you regain your strength, right? Alright, time to leave this place and meet back up with Arlechino. Let's go! That's odd. This place looks different than when we came in.
Waning moon,
Huh?
oh lifeless damsel.
Oh. Hurry! The place is collapsing!
It wants to trap us here.
Who's it? The Abyss?
Now we've taken the moon marrow. All that's left here is a dark will. It will show us no mercy.
Give it back! The crimson moons! My marrow! My heart!
Finally! Huh? Oh no! The exit's blocked! They're back! Now what do we do?
This is where you fall. Witness my rise.
Hey, it's...
What are you waiting for?
Por un momento pensé que Arlechino se había vuelto mal otra vez.
We made it!
¿Qué es Arlechino?
Is that you, Arlechino? Did you save us? Wait, your hands! They're...
Oh, this? Don't worry. It's a small price to pay. The Abyss wanted to trap you inside, and I defied its will by bringing you out. No wonder it's a little angry. No. I have paid the price, albeit a small one, and it cannot be undone. My hands have already fused with the Abyss. Purification would simply destroy whatever's left of them.
But surely... Oh... We're so sorry, Arlechino.
believe you'd make a sacrifice like this for us.
As much as I'd like to call it a favor, the truth is I was simply holding up my end of the deal. Well, Colombina.
Yes, you did your part. And as promised, I will leave the iridescent moon's marrow in your care. From this day forth, may the two worlds' flames burn ever more brightly.
I'll take that as a blessing. Now, Colombina, give me your hand. Accept this moonlight I offer in return. Feeling stronger?
Hey, Colombina, are you okay? I'm fine. Our powers are a little at odds, that's all.
By the Frost Moon's authority alone, wielding the power of the other moons was always going to be a stretch. Still, I think it's fair to say that your strength has returned, at least to the level it was at as Third Harbinger.
It's still not enough. There's no way I can hope to challenge Revier like this. Just one more ray of moonlight, if you would.
Ocupa más bufo, la Colombina.
It's okay. I can take it.
How about now? Fighting fit?
At the very least, I won't have to stay hidden like before. I want to see him gone from Not Cry. The Rayheer of Solnari and his wild hunt must be sent back where they belong.
Well, it's good to have something to aim for. You certainly seem more alive now than you did earlier. When I first met you, you didn't strike me as a ray of moonlight. More like a wisp of fog drifting in from who knows where, ready to scatter at the first sign of a breeze. But now, you're full of vitality. Just like the Frost Moon, once the brightest of them all. May you keep shining, Colombina. This is who you are.
Thank you. Look after yourself too, Arlechino. I know you have plans of your own, and that's why you're always seeking to grow stronger. But whatever you're after, don't let the Abyss take a hold of you. I do not wish to see you go down the same path as Revier.
I appreciate the concern, Colombina. Although perhaps it's time you took a new name.
A new name?
Kutar, the Moon Maiden, Colombina. They're nothing more than code names. They describe who she is and the roles she's played, but they're not her real name. We often use code names in the House of the Hearth, too. But it's knowing your real name that keeps you grounded. Up till now, you've been living a wandering life, so you've probably never really cared. All I'll say is this. Once you've defeated Revier, give it some thought. All right, that's it from me. I'll get you back safely first, then go meet up with Sandrone.
You're the best!
I appreciate the gesture. It speaks to your good character. Anyway, let's get going. There are more urgent things to do right now than trade compliments.
Ah, misión completada.
It was a close call, but we got the iridescent moon's marrow and restored Colombina's strength, and that's all that matters. In other words, mission accomplished. Paimon wonders how everyone else is doing.
No manches, estos de Genshi parece que miden las misiones con un reloj. Casi duró exactamente 1 hora la misión. A ver, ahora tengo que ir acá. ¿Dónde estoy? Vuelve a la base. Esto lo dejo para mañana. Yo quiero gastarme en mi resina. ¿Qué estaba haciendo? Pero antes de eso, vamos a visitar a Inefa.
Rise with the sun!
Serafín, ¿tú vas a poder explorar Espinadragón conmigo hoy? ¿O qué vas a hacer hoy? ¿O estás haciendo misiones?
Tung 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 sahur. Anomali mengerikan yang hanya keluar pada sahur, konon katanya.
Que se quedó dormida y... Los ronquidos de la April hacían de sonar cuando está mimiendo, ¿verdad, April?
Why is Yehuda just standing there? And she's asleep? Hey, what's going on here? Paimon feels like it's a bad idea for us to leave. Maybe we should ask Aino for help.
Keyword detected. Meditative state suspended.
Whoa! You gave Paimon a fright!
Los robots necesitan meditar.
No. However, it was Yehuda's request. She asked me for a detailed analysis of the steps required to meditate and to mentor her as she practiced relieving her stress.
Ballerina cappuccina. Mi. È la moglie di Cappuccino Assassino.
However, Yehuda said she has been suffering from insomnia for a while and was willing to try any solution she could. First, I let her stand in my kitchen, close her eyes, and focus on the fragrance of crumb cakes.
Bailarina capuchina. ¿Quién se inventa esas rolas, April?
By stimulating her olfactory module, I believe there would be a decrease in activity in her cognitive module.
¿Y funciona?
It successfully stimulated her appetite. She consumed the finished crumb cakes with incredible efficiency.
Ah, sí, es una pinche dragona la Yehuda.
Unfortunately, she consumed too many and...
Trallallero, trallallà!
It's normal. We're not robots like you, after all. The more we smell food, the more we want to eat it.
That is indeed true. Afterwards, I try to have her perform intense mental or physical exercises before bed. For example, cutting lumber, jogging, doing push-ups.
Salamino
squats, and so
pinguino.
on. Her body should have been able to enter sleep mode more easily following such sizable expenditures of energy. It did not. She finished half her exercises, realized she had an unfinished commission, and so rushed off to complete it. After she returned, she crouched down in a corner, hugging her knees, and said, I was so tired from all that training. My legs gave out while guiding my clients through the ruins. I basically crawled the whole way. If Boss Neff finds out, I'm dead meat. Following this, she was once more unable to sleep. In the end, we decided to give meditation another try.
Boss Neff. No, wasn't me. Didn't steal your tea. Ugh.
Seems like the meditation was pretty effective. Yehoda's fast asleep.
I do not think Yehoda's sleep is related to her meditation. First of all, the meditation steps I analyzed are not suitable for her. The goal of meditation is to enter a deep state of tranquility, which can be used to enhance self-awareness. For an ordinary person, this deep state is close to dozing. For me, this would be closer to a low-power standby mode, where one cuts power to certain components. That said, were we to shut down some of Yehoda's components, I believe it would pose a threat to her personal safety.
So, meditation wasn't supposed to work, but Yehoda fell asleep anyway? Could she have been so tired that she just passed out?
In truth, I do not understand either. All I can do is tell you what happened before. When Yehoda lay down and tried to fall asleep through meditation, she suddenly said to me, "Don't run off too far, or I might get ambushed in my sleep. And then I'd be dead meat." I answered her, "Very well, I will remain here by your side." After that, like I do with Aino every night, I held Yehoda's hand as she slept. After a while, she did, indeed, fall asleep.
Dummy robot. This is something I did myself.
Yes. And if either of you need help sleeping, please consult me at any time. However, do note that I can only hold 2 hands at once. Oh, by the way, I have leftover crumb cocky bolts from the batch I made earlier. I gave one to Yehoda. You can have the other.
¿Para qué quiero un tornillo, Inefa?
Goodbye. I hope you have sweet dreams tonight.
Brr brr patapim, brr brr patapim, tralalero tralala, tung 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 sahur. Brr brr patapim, brr brr patapim, tralalero tralala, tung 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 sahur.
Sahur. No me digas que en serio eso es una canción, April. Ahora que farmeo. ¿Qué puedo farmear? Ya me acordé, también tengo que subirle el nivel. Ahí, pero ya está en nivel 9. Puedo matar. Ya, lo del ajedrez. Ay, pero lo hace mañana, yo creo. Esto de aquí ya tengo demasiado. Si lo quiero subir el nivel, ¿qué me falta? Voy a subir al 80. Luego al 90. No ocupo. No ocupo material de IFA. A ver, de esta loli. Va a llegar al 26. Sí, aquí sí puedo.
La vida es así. Tú te vas y yo me quedo aquí.
¿Pero quién canta esa canción? La del tralalero. Creo que se voy a matar a este. Voy a matar a este jefe. Ahora, voy a checar bien porque no voy a hacer que ya tenga de más. A ver, a ver, a ver. Ah, no sé, sí, estoy bien.
Burn it down. Rev the engines. The pinnacle of excellence. Wrath from the sky.
Okay, schmeißen sich nicht auf.
Salamino, Pinguino. Tung, 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 Sahur.
Locked on.
Rise with the sun. Incinerate. Pyroclastic surge. Try and stop me. Attack defrosting. Light it up. Wrath from the sky.
I got him cornered.
¿Qué otra música está buena de Miku?
A little of this boosh. Goose on the loose. Rise with the sun. Light up the blazing sun.
Ayer pusiste una...
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning.
Up to the freezer. Burn it down. Try and stop me. Pyroclastic surge.
Bueno, con esto ya cumplí con todo lo del día de hoy. Faltan más farmear en mi otra cuenta. Y qué raro, hoy no vino el Jae. A ver, vamos a ver si no anda jugando. Oh no, mira, no está jugando hoy el Jae. Qué raro. Ese sonido me recordó a un videojuego. Un videojuego que jugué hace un montón de tiempo.
Ad Astra. Thank you for
A ver, ya tengo la palomita del día. Vamos a ver. Ajá, ya. Cada vez más cerca de la C2 de Dilute. Estoy a nada. Y ahora... Ah, sí, iba a subir. Iba a crear material para Dilute. Y no me acordaba. A ver, ¿cómo se llama esto que ocupa Dilute? A ver, ¿dónde está? Ay. Leí donde no era. Tengo 103. Insignia del oficial. Cupo 12. Insignias. Insignias del oficial. Ah, es que están. Ok, vamos a hacer 20. ¿Ya ni te acordabas o qué? ¿Ya ni te acordás que tenía 500 de seguro? Ahora sí, vamos a subir de loot. Ahora sí lo puedo mejorar. A ver, artefacto. No de constelación. Ah, no digo talento. ¿Y qué más falta? ¿Qué más falta? Talento. ¿Por qué no puedo gastar libros? Si puedo farmear más. ¿Qué más iba a hacer? ¿Qué más iba a hacer? ¿Qué más iba a hacer? Ah, sí. Quiero subir esta loli. Ahora me falta farmear esto. Y estas madres, ¿dónde salen? Ah, tengo 17 para sintetizar. ¿Cómo que para qué? Pues para el teatro. En el teatro hoy me faltan un montón de personajes. Por eso lo subí. Luego no puedo hacer el teatro 13, digo el más difícil. ¿Qué más iba a hacer? Pues ya lo subí a 80. Además no creo, porque tienes que subir el talento de luz. Y si no lo haciendo no podía subir el talento. ¿Qué más falta? ¿Qué más iba a hacer? Se me olvidó. A ver, la tienda, ¿dónde está la tienda? Ah, ya me gasté la resina de aquí. Este Razor. Bueno, ahí está. Entonces, sí, ya está bien. Creo que termina. Ah, ya me acordé que tengo que ir a hacer. Ok, ya hay una suma. Y luego tengo que cambiarme de cuenta. Tengo que gastar resina de mi otra cuenta. Uy, no, faltan 26 minutos todavía. Todavía no puedo. Ah, pues ahorita regreso, April. Voy a cortar. Voy a cambiar de cuenta y voy a gastarme la resina en mi otra cuenta. Dices que no puedes ayudarme, ¿no? A explorar Espina Dragón. A ver quién anda conectado en mi otra cuenta. Para que me ayude a farmear ágatas. Te regreso. Porque también tengo que ir al baño. Bueno, ahorita te veo.